Today I'm going to teach you how to install RAM on a Optiplex 620. What you'll need is your Optiplex 620 and your 2 new sticks of RAM that you'd like to install on your computer. Here is a close-up view of the Optiplex 620 we'll be using. Notice how it is the thicker version. They also come in a thin version as well, and the reason why we will not be using one of those is because the insides look completely different than from the outside, than from the thick version. The 2 sticks of RAM, these are 2 examples that I have chosen to use on my demonstration. Step 1, you're going to want to unplug all cables from the back of the computer. Normally there will be a keyboard and a mouse cable coming from these ports right here, and then also an Ethernet cable that will be coming from right here, as well as a power cable that will be coming from right here, and your monitor cable, which will be coming from right here. You want to make sure all those are unplugged before we start the process. Once all the cables are unplugged, you should move the computer to a safer area where you're comfortable working, where they're not specifically not on the ground or anything like that, maybe your kitchen table or anything like that. And what you'll do is you'll want to remove the side plate from the computer. Now you want to remember, when removing the side plate, there's going to be a notch right here on the back side of the computer. If this is the front, we're going to come to the back, and on the top there's this notch right here. And be ready, when you pull it, the plate will open as it has done so on me already. Alright, and then when pull that off, and then what we're going to do is we're going to set the plate aside. Alright, and then what you should have is an open computer like that, like so. Next we're going to want to flip the computer on its back side. So if this is the view where you had it before, just flip it straight down on its back like so. That way we can work easier inside the computer as well as see better inside of there as well. Alright, next you're going to want to make sure that after you remove the power and everything, that there's a little yellow light bulb right there. And if that light bulb is still on, there's still power within the motherboard, and we're going to want to remove that power. So what we're going to do is we're going to push the power button up here on the front. Just push it a couple times, and then that will get rid of the power in the motherboard. Next we're going to point out where the RAM is, where a lot of people may not know where it is or what they look like at all in general. Get my screwdriver. Okay. Alright. Now here we have the heat sink. Alright, and then right behind there are the 2 sticks of RAM. This one and this one right there. Alright. And then if you notice these notches that are right next to the RAM, the 2 white ones, they're in these grooves. See, the black notches have grooves as well right there, but there's no RAM inside there. But notice that the white notches are where your RAM are, and that's where we're going to be replacing the new RAM. Alright, next I'm going to show you how to properly remove the RAM. One point to make is that notice whenever you pull the RAM up, you want to be holding it on the top. Try not to mess with any of the teeth on the bottom. As well as you want to make sure that you know where this groove is in the RAM, because that's going to have an effect on where you put your new RAM in and which way and everything. Okay, next we'll be removing the RAM. And like I said earlier, you notice the 2 white notches that are there. Those are basically the clamps that are holding the RAM down. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to gently push down on one of the clamps. Okay, see how it popped up a little bit? What we're going to do next is push down on the one opposite side of the RAM, and you won't be able to see it, but what you'll do is you'll just gently push it down as well, and the RAM should pop up all the way. Alright, and then just gently pull it up, and then you have your RAM come up. And notice where the notch is as well. Luckily for me, it's in the middle on this type of RAM, but some types of RAM have them over here, or 2 notches, or things like that. Okay, and what you'll do is you'll repeat that process for the next RAM stick as well. Okay. And also be careful if any wires happen to be in the way or anything. Just gently push them to the side. Try not to be forceful with it or anything. And we'll pull that one out as well. Okay, you can stop. Right, next we have our new RAM that we're going to put in here. Okay, remember to make sure of where the grooves are on your RAM. And what we'll do is, you follow me down. What we're going to do is we're going to put them in the exact same grooves that the old RAM came out of, which were the grooves with the white clamps on the sides. Okay, so we're going to put them in, matching the grooves. Alright, now gently set it in there, don't be forceful with it. Okay. And then next what you'll do is, if you can focus down on this part right here, you're going to gently push down until the white clamps closed on the ram. Like that right there. Okay, and we'll do the exact same thing on the other side. Alright, that's clamped in. And you'll repeat the process for the second stick of ram that also will be placed in the same groove with the white clamp on the other side. And like I said earlier, if there's any wires that happen to be in the way, just gently push them out of the way. Slide the ram into the groove, and then gently push down, and then gently push down again on the other eye, and then it clamped in. Alright, and just to make sure, just give it a good push right there in the dead center of the ram, make sure it's all the way in. Okay, and then you've successfully installed your ram. Alright, next we're going to be putting the side plate back onto the computer. And you'll want to pay attention to the grooves that are on the bottom side and the top side of the faceplate, because they match up with where it's going to line up on the bottom of the computer. And you'll notice that there's three holes on the bottom right here, and at the base of the computer as well, there's 3 plugs, I guess you could say, to where the faceplate's going to line up with. And what we'll do is we'll align these holes like so, and just lay it down. And then what you want to do is just gently take your hand at the top and just gently push down on it, and then it's in. And then we'll stand the computer up. After standing the computer up, you're going to want to take your computer back to wherever you moved it from, and you're going to remember to plug in back in your power supply, your Ethernet cable, your 2 USB cords, mainly for the mouse and the keyboard, and your video cable, which goes to your monitor.